Welcome to my channel. My name is Ria and today we're going to discuss the full moon. Full moons are about endings of completions. They're about things releasing themselves, things coming to a full circle. That's what a full moon is. This one's in the sign of Cancer. Cancer represents our home. It represents our emotions. It is ruled by the moon. The moon is comfortable in the sign of Cancer. The sign of Cancer also denotes how comfortable we feel, how secure we feel, how connected we feel. So these are the big themes that can come up with this full moon. What stands out to me on this moon is the fact that we do have two important things going on, actually very many important things. Mars is right there with the moon. Mars is retrograde and we have Pluto here. And I want to focus on this for a moment, right? A full moon is when the sun and the moon are in opposition. That's what a full moon is. And you can see very clearly that the sun is building up its conjunction to Pluto. It's getting ready to meet Pluto. You can see the sun's going to move on and it will meet Pluto. This is extremely significant because Pluto changed signs after many years. So I'll just go over it once again real quick. March 2023, Pluto entered Aquarius after 16 years, almost 15 to 16 years. Then it went back into Capricorn. Then Jan of last year, it entered Aquarius. It went back in September into Capricorn, and then since November of 2024 it has been in Aquarius. And this is significant because Pluto is very slow moving. It changes signs very infrequently, and Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for almost the next 2 decades, right? And this is the first time in many years that the sun is going to meet up with Pluto. And what this can mean is the birthing of the new world, right? Because Pluto has entered a new sign after 16 years and the sun's going to meet Pluto for the first time in Aquarius on Jan 21st or so. So this is the birthing of the new world. And that's important, right? That's important. And Pluto feels intense. It feels transformative. It's about things ending. It's about things beginning. It's about rebirth of something, right? It's this extremely transformative energy. So we are in that, we are building up to that, and that Sun-Pluto conjunction is going to happen in the next few days. Now we have Mars sitting next to the moon. Mars represents our drive, our ability to take action, our ability to make things happen, and it's retrograde, right? And what that means is that there is a slight feeling that we're trying to take this action, we're trying to make this happen, but somehow it's not as we want it to be. Somehow it's not as fast as we want it to be, the actions that we're taking. Somehow it feels like we are waiting, right? We are waiting. That's what it can feel like. It can feel slightly frustrating because Mars is action, right? It's our ability to take action, and when we are not able to do it as we are used to, it can feel frustrating. So there's that element as well. So with just these two planets sitting next to the sun and the moon, Pluto next to the sun and Mars next to the moon, this is an intense energy. Mars, Pluto are very intense. Pluto rules the sign of Scorpio right now. Mars used to rule the sign of Scorpio. So they bring with them that intensity, that transformative nature, that change, that end of the old, that beginning of the new, and especially more so because Pluto is here sitting in a brand new sign. The next thing I want to talk about is the fact that we have the nodal shift, right? Let's talk about that for a moment. We have Rahu here, Ketu here. Rahu, the north node, Ketu, the south node. And for the past 18 and a half months or so, Rahu, the north node, was in the sign of Aries and Ketu in the sign of Libra. Rahu and Ketu are nodes of the moon, right? And they're extremely karmic in nature. They're karmic points, destiny points is what they're called. And they take about 18 and a half months to transit a sign. They're always in this 180-degree configuration, always in this configuration. And a day or so before this moon, right, the nodes change signs. Actually, a couple days before this moon, the nodes change signs. Now, the north node Rahu is in Pisces and the south node Ketu is in the sign of Virgo. And this means themes shifting in a big way, right? Themes are shifting completely, and it's intensified more because right now we don't just have a nodal shift, which we have every 18 and a half months. We also have Pluto and the Sun meeting up for the first time in Aquarius. So changing times, right? Changing times. And Rahu is a magnifier, a lot like Jupiter. It has that tendency of magnifying things. And Ketu here is about detachment, right? So now it's in the sign of Pisces. It will highlight the sign of Pisces. Pisces is the sign of duality, right? That's what Pisces is. It's the sign of confusion. It's the sign of water. It's the sign of the end. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It is the end. Pisces is mental health. Pisces is our subconscious. Pisces is to do with our dreams. It's to do with addictions. It's to do with escapism. It's to do with self-undoing, right? Pisces is the sign that represents that aspect of ourselves where we self-destruct. On the negative, that's what Pisces is. On the positive, Pisces is spiritual. Pisces is surrendering. Pisces is learning to let go. It's about the higher realms. Pisces is extremely creative. Pisces is about music. It's about fashion as well, right? That's Pisces. And we have Ketu now in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is about organization. It's about planning. It's about analysis. It's about the day-to-day. It's about our routine. It's about our health. It's about our diet. It's about how we structure the day. So that's also coming into the limelight with the nodes changing signs. And another thing with this axis that becomes important is healthcare, right? Because both these signs have to do with health. So we'll see a theme shift. For the past 18 and a half months with Aries and Libra, those were the focus, right? Aries is about the individual. It's about aggression. It's about me, right? I am. That's what Aries says. And then on the other hand, with Ketu and Libra, it's about relationships. It's about diplomacy. It's about finding the middle ground, the compromise, right? So this axis has been highlighted for the past year and a half, and now it's going to change to what I just mentioned, Pisces and Virgo. So that's also a big deal. Now the next thing I want to mention is the fact that we just finished a few days ago Saturn and Jupiter in square. They squared for the second time, 90-degree angle. And this is important because if you recall, Saturn and Jupiter met up in the year 2020, right? They met up at 0 degrees of Aquarius, and now they're in their first 90-degree angle. This means themes from 2020 can come back up. This means that something that started in 2020 is reaching its next step, right? Because it's reached that square point. And although now it's separating because Jupiter is going retrograde and Saturn is direct now, but a few days ago this was very intense. So we've had that second square and that's complete now. So I wanted to talk about that as well. Now what I really want to mention is the fact that this moon is making very many aspects. So let's just get into those real quick. Uranus is there, making a 60-degree angle with the moon, right? And what this tells me is that there is an unpredictable element to the whole thing. Uranus, although this is a positive aspect, 60 degrees, Uranus is unpredictable. It's about the future. It's about disruption, right? So there is that element to this moon, a disruptive element. We also have Neptune here impacting the moon. It is trining Mars almost direct, and it is trining the moon as well. This is a positive aspect as well, but Neptune is about letting go, it's about surrendering, it's about the spiritual world, it's about the higher power. So there is that element going on. There is that element because Mars here is getting in retrograde. It's not able to take that action, right? It's not able to get things done as it is used to, and especially more so because it's in the sign of Cancer. Mars does not like to be in Cancer, so it's not working well. Our need to take steps, action, all that is a little slowed down. So Neptune is stepping in here and saying surrender, let go, that sort of stuff. We also have Venus here getting ready to meet Saturn. Venus and Saturn. And Venus is in Pisces, Saturn is in Pisces. We'll get to that in a moment. But Venus meeting up with Saturn means a reality check. Reality check to our relationships, reality check to our projects, finances, right? Venus, relationships and money. That's what Venus is about primarily. So there's a reality check to these things coming up. It's building up. And Saturn also creates a slowdown. So maybe there's a slowdown here. It can also be a decision point. It can also be a commitment point connected to relationships and finances. So that's there as well. Now, I do want to mention a few more things before we wrap up. And that's the fact that look at the amount of Pisces we have right now. Before this moon, few days before this moon, Rahu was not here. Only Neptune and Saturn were here. This means a lot of Pisces. Pisces is what I mentioned, right? It's a lot about the past coming to a close. It's about cycles ending in a big, big way. So that's what this is about. And now I'm going to talk more about the big picture. So I'm going to turn off this chart and then we'll get into that. So talking about the other themes in the chart, I just mentioned that Pluto is now finally in Aquarius. We've ended a 16-year cycle, and with the Sun meeting Pluto in the next few days, we will it's like the new world is here as far as Pluto is concerned. Now we also have the other two outer planets, Neptune and Uranus, changing signs, right? And these are again slow moving energies. Uranus will go from Taurus to Gemini and Neptune from Pisces to Aries. So two major cycles coming to a close. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2011. Right, and Uranus in Taurus since 2018. So we will be closing out these long cycles this year as well, in addition to Pluto. We also had the nodal shift, so that's another theme shift that's already happened. So this year, a lot of changes are going to take place, and then we will also have the Saturn-Neptune build-up, the conjunction build-up. They are meeting at 0 degrees of Aries, and this is extremely significant because 0 degrees of Aries is the beginning of the zodiac, right? So if you recall, I just mentioned there's a lot of Pisces, right? A lot of energy in Pisces. So we will be closing out the past in big ways this year. We are stepping into the new. Already it started, and it will get more and more as time goes on, especially when Uranus and Neptune change signs, and then the Saturn-Neptune conjunction gets closer and closer. We will begin to see more changes. So I'll see you guys next time. I hope you have a great day, and bye.